Ladies and gentlemen, J4Ck-Nation welcomes you to its third episode. We are coming to you live from the J4Ck-Nation Party Jet. My name is the Colonist alongside Chris Ravioli and Pepsi Cones.
Which may as well tell you, hey, guess what? I upgraded. It's not tea and cookies anymore. It's Pepsi and ravioli. Pepsi.
Yeah. And it's not even Chef Boyardee. This is real ravioli.
Actually,
Jack Six takes care of us.
He gave me raw raviolis. It was like, here, make something of this. So I did. Speaking
And
of,
now,
though,
we're in Baltimore. Oh God! And here comes. Here comes.
Man. This is not the right time to be here, is it?
Oh, this is going to be a show. This is going to be a show. Here comes Toon Squad. This is the second round of our Tag Team Championship Tournament. The winner of this faces Johnny Bravo and Scott Steiner, who got speared by Goldberg this weekend. Fun fact. I don't know whether you saw that. Goldberg actually stepped in a ring for the first time in 11 years.
And Lord only knows how that went.
He speared Steiner. He wants to get back in the ring for one match.
I wonder what match that is. I mean, for Pete's sake, what does he have to do now? What is his goal in life? Here's a question. What's Bugs Bunny's goal in life?
I think he's just a Hellraiser when you think about it. He's just there to just be there, say sarcastic shit, and then team up with Michael Jordan. So,
in that case, can you really...
Oh, wow, that was vicious.
Ew, right on the cameraman, too, while I was at it.
God.
That's disgusting.
Jordan probably getting sick of the LeBron debate. He's just like, nah, I'm in here now. That's how it works. Here comes Jungle Boogie.
And these two, I'm just going to say this right now, they look a lot nicer than what the Space Jam just managed to show by Michael Jordan basically just snotting all over the cameraman.
These two look motivated. They look ready to go. And the bare-knuckle boxer himself, Man Yellow Hat.
These two were big at one point or another, so these two being big again, that's not out of the way.
I think it's a legitimate possibility. They have that team cohesion that arguably both Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan have as well. Toon Squad's been around for a fair amount of time too, so there should be a good, solid matchup to kick off the greatest wrestling organization on the face of this earth, J4Ck-Nation Red.
Absolutely. Now here comes a real
match
question.
Starts.
Here, it's a bare-knuckle brawler versus a guy who literally changes the universe on a whim. Little I knows, I have my eyesights on the man with the yellow hat. And
he's your pick.
Yeah, he actually is. He and the giant monkey in the right corner.
Okay, I'm gonna, just for the sake of one of us not doing what we did last time, where we went 0-3 because we picked the same people. Just for that, I'm gonna pick Toon Squad. But
I'm gonna say that oh, sweet Lord.
Nice shot.
That knee though.
Now, quick tag into Curious George, who now comes in. Bugs Bunny's still focused on the man in the yellow hat, and now looks like they both kind of got in the way of each other there.
Oh yeah, just a little bit.
Man in the yellow hat cannot seem to find his corner because he's just walking into Curious George. Holy God.
Follow-away slam from the top rope. Ow, ow,
impressive,
and ow.
Impressive move. And I think power-wise, it seems indicative that Curious George definitely has the power advantage, now just clamping the skull of Bugs Bunny.
Well, you know what's kind of funny about that? You mentioned the power advantage, but the Toon Squad faced a team with a serious power advantage from the BK Value Meal just with Demon Chicken alone.
That is true. And they still came out the other side with that victory, which was, I think was an upset, or at least pretty surprising on my behalf.
Yeah, because there was very little to give them any sort of pull in there, but they definitely pulled off one of the larger upsets in the tag team tournament.
No doubt. And I mean, there's still plenty of time too. Nice, almost angle slam-esque maneuver. And now just stomping away at Bugs Bunny. And, oh God, here comes the moonsault. That will never not be funny. I don't care how long it takes. This is actually a really nice jet that we're doing in the booth here. We've got champagne coming to us. J4Ck, he takes care of us. He has us fly in.
Which is why we are not in trouble right now. We're not actually in Baltimore.
No. So we're just watching Baltimore happen. And another moonsault. And
Curious George showing that he's not just all strength right now.
Well, and he's also shown that quite a few times in his career, I'd say, mostly as a tag team competitor. Now tagging to Michael Jordan, first time we're seeing him in the action tonight. Mm-hmm. And now a set of counters back and forth. Which one of these two teams will advance to the semifinals to take on the team of Scott Steiner and Johnny Bravo? And
well, if you take a look right now, Michael Jordan is just trying to pound it into Curious George, but Curious George having absolutely none of that, and Michael Jordan having none of his stuff either.
Well, I don't think it's smart for Jordan to be trying to power his way and get into a fist fight with a giant monkey.
Well, normally I would agree with you, but this is the kind of guy who plays better when when everything is going up against him. Power bomb, sweet guy.
Wow. What a power bomb by Michael Jordan. And now the man in the yellow hat getting him a piece of the action. And if there's anyone who I would want to fight face first, less than Curious George, it would definitely be the man in the yellow hat.
The bare knuckle brawler.
The bare knuckle brawler himself. And now a German suplex. And a very technical outing here by Curious George. You can't help but be impressed by the technique that he's shown in his suplexes and even in his aerial attacks.
Yeah, very much so. He's showing that he's not all brawn. Michael Jordan showing that he's not just all skill. He's got plenty of strength behind him.
Well, that's the interesting thing, too, is when you get into these matches where you have to really strategize how you approach them, when you're getting further in the tournament, and you have to become more diverse because everyone's going to be watching the match, and especially your opponents. They're going to be doing their homework. So it's times like this, and wow.
That's a hit.
That could have ended the match. Only a one count. Curious George spearing the crap out of Bugs Bunny.
Team Toon Squad over here is just not looking too good right now. Oh, good Lord, right?
Oh, and a low bridge over the top rope, and Michael Jordan kind of walks over and lets Curious George do that, which...
It makes me question what in the world is his plan for this. It's just not working out, Michael. Stop walking over there.
Maybe Michael Jordan has some sort of monkey asphyxiation where he likes being restrained by giant furry monkeys. I don't know where I'm going with that, but that sounds disturbing. Good Lord.
Right on. May I remind everyone that is not a very well padded area. That is incredibly painful to watch.
No, that's pretty much straight blacktop that we just painted red.
Yeah.
So, and a Luthez press, nicely done by. Oh God.
He's showing the same move Curious George did not too long ago, but it's a lot more impressive because his arms aren't as big. Oh God.
No. Oh God. If you ever wondered if these two are a team.
You can definitely tell that these two have definitely trained together for almost too long because he's losing a lot of the bare knuckle ability, but he definitely is showing a lot more aerial and technical prowess.
Well, that's what impresses me so much about Jungle Boogie is that these two have really developed such a chemistry together, not only as a team, but they've been able to feed off each other and learn new things. And I think they both really improved as competitors, and a nice belly-to-belly suplex right over the top. Bugs Bunny nowhere to be found, not even helping Jordan at all. There he is.
He was there for a quarter second.
He was there and then left. Where did he even go?
Repeat.
Did he just leave the arena? Where is he now?
I think he's on the other side, but for some reason, he just will not come over and help Michael Jordan. Maybe Michael Jordan told him not to. I don't know.
Well, if there's anyone who could actually hold his own against these two, I would say Jordan's got a pretty good chance of that. He's defied the odds before, without a doubt. And then, look at that. He became the standard of basketball, and who knows? He might become a standard of wrestling after so long. This is J4Ck-Nation. Anything can happen.
Anything will happen.
And that's
the scary part. Wait, Bugs
there he is. Found Bugs Bunny.
I told you he wasn't gone. He probably just went to the rabbit hole to give him some carrots.
He wasn't even in his corner. He was just on the side, just doing nothing at all. Just like, I'm just gonna.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Another Luthez press, slamming the face.
His head is just being absolutely tormented. If I were Michael Jordan, I would tag in Bugs Bunny now.
And it looks springboard. Oh, he caught it. He caught him. This is Jordan. And
I don't know what to think. One. Oh, kick out.
Count only.
Holy shit, that was cool.
Oh my God, that was the funniest thing. After all of that, catching him into an FU. not an attitude adjustment, and F you, because it's Michael Jordan.
Well, hey, can you really blame him? I mean, even though he didn't do so well in his fight against Reggie Miller, he definitely showing a lot more moxie against
What a complete corkscrew, I guess, lateral press there, for lack of a better phrase. Bugs Bunny finally tagged in, and a drop kick swatted.
Yeah, that was just not even. Bugs, you're going to need to do a little better than that. You might make it. Hulk Hogan leg drop.
Nicely done. And a cover could be over here for the bare knuckle brawler. Cover. No.
Oh, Curious George saving his behind. Just barely.
Yeah, it wasn't the case the other 4 minutes when Jordan was getting slammed and Bugs Bunny was nowhere to be found. A cover, all 4 men in the ring. Chaos has ensued. Macaulay Culkin needs more drugs.
All I know is that right now Michael Jordan is on his face. This is not exactly a good place for this team. Although, is that...
What's he doing? A tarantula?
Wow, all right. Shut my mouth.
Okay, that was interesting.
I'm always impressed to see this kind of stuff.
And again, going back to the innovation. Oh, no.
This is just painful. Here goes. Oh, sweet God.
So, Bugs Bunny clearly not dead, apparently. Just no-selling it.
Just not even. Oh,
There's more to this match that meets the eye. Nice suplex there. Down goes Bugs Bunny. Manny the Yellow Hat towering over Bunny, but misses the lateral press there. And Bunny trying to get something in. Curious George tagged back in. Did we ever establish the referee? Did we ever mention who that was?
I've been wondering that myself. I've been kind of thinking, who is that anyway?
No, I know who he is, but I didn't know whether we had actually established it in 2.
We might I don't think we did.
Okay, well, here's the cover. Let's see if it's going to be over here. 1. Not enough. Breaking up the count. Okay, because this wasn't established, our referee, who we came up with, is Macaulay Culkin, court-ordered to be here as part of his community service.
Can you really blame the court, though? I mean, if you're going to do community service anywhere, right now it's going to be in a wrestling ring in Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, and J4Ck-Nation and J4Ck, he doesn't really care what Macaulay Culkin does. Cover 2 and 3!
Of course. Anyone who wants to do any kind of betting in this needs to never bet with me, okay? Because I'm clearly going to lose every single time.
Oh, well, I'm shocked. After everything that happened, Bugs Bunny gets the win.
Well, you know what I think happened there? I think that was clearly their plan. Michael Jordan took the majority of the damage, and then when it came down to it, they were very tired, and Bugs Bunny was fresh.
Well, it makes sense considering that he is wearing a Chicago jersey, and it's almost similar to, I don't know how many people actually watch hockey in the Stanley Cup that's going right now, but the last game, the first game of the Stanley Cup, Tampa Bay had 2 goals in the first period and then ran out of steam, completely ran out of steam, and Chicago came back and won. And I think that's exactly what we just saw here. Yeah. Smart strategy, smart tactics, and what a win for the Toon Squad, who advances to the semifinals.
Which is very impressive, because these are 2 guys who really didn't do a whole lot anywhere else, at least in, but they're showing they have more than just moxie. They have strategy.
J4Ck-Nation is where people come to shine. And here is exactly what I'm talking about.
This is a match
Spawn
to see.
And the Shredder.
Hey, I want to see this match.
Yeah, how could you not be excited for this match? And apparently Shredder beat Luigi and Spawn beat Hellboy. This is the second round, I believe.
So you basically have 2 guys who are undefeated here in the J4Ck-Nation who are basically going to go at it. This is going to be a good match.
And it's the second round of the tournament to determine, I believe, the #1 contender for the new championship. They're calling it the D-League, but I think we're actually going to make it more specific to the J4Ck-Nation, hopefully, within time. Because we are our own brand. We are the greatest thing to ever grace wrestling, period. That's what it is. That's why we're flying on a jet, being paid somewhat to come and do this.
Well, I mean, hey, it's free food. If someone was like, hey, jump on this jet, I've got free food. I don't know if I'll say yes automatically, but if they're about to shove a fist in my face, I would definitely say yes.
If a guy like Jack6 says, have free food or I'm going to kill you, you pretty much just take the food and do the commentary. I mean, I came here voluntarily. He said, hey, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, I'm in. It's
For me, it was more lines of, do you want to do this? I'm like, And he's like, I'll give you free food. I'm like, cool.
yeah.
Go with it.
Doesn't take much to convince the commentators, but you know what? We're here. We do a good job. At least I'd like to think we do a good job. And all of this amasses to the winner of this tournament faces Blade for the title at our very first J4Ck-Nation pay-per-view. We've already made a pay-per-view. We're relatively new, and we have our first pay-per-view, Gears of War.
Yep. And speaking of what we're going to be seeing, which is going to be a war, everyone knows it. Here comes Shredder.
Shredder. Man, I'm kind of impressed about just the look of Shredder in this. Like, I love the samurai cap.
It actually looks proper, and I'm very impressed by the fact that this guy is basically just walking in with all of this armor on. You know, you just don't see that anymore.
Well, you got to protect yourself. I mean, I think everyone's like, oh, let's wrestle, and then like they just take all their clothes off, which is weird. Like, no, I want armor. I don't want to get hurt. These make sense. He's being logical.
Well, just like certain other groups which tend to wear a lot of armor. Like, I remember the last time you and I were on this, Leonidas came out. He had his helmet.
And he won.
Yeah, exactly.
And he won that match, and he beat Captain Pollution, which I'm still... It's Leonidas, so I let it slide. My boy's got to win a match, though. I got to start talking into his ear. I haven't texted him in a while, so I'm going to have to hit him up, and we're going to have a serious talk about his his winning ability.
It's definitely looking really, really poor right now.
It's waned. It's waned a lot. He had a big push, and then he came through, and then he just started, ever since he lost that series to Vegeta, it's just been downhill from there.
He hasn't really even seen a really good match for himself, where he's pulled out the W. He just hasn't.
I mean, he's had a lot of good technical matches, but he's just come up on the jobbing end of the deal. And I think the time. Pollution needs to make a comeback. And I think that we can make it happen here in J4Ck-Nation Red. Nice sidewalk slam. Down goes the Shredder via Spawn.
Well, Spawn is as his name kind of pronounces, he is from Hell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and he beat Hellboy.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
And of course, the Shredder, having been in multiple universes, basically the lone survivor against a group of turtles who have been very
nice
good.
DDT by Spawn.
You know, you've got guys who are survivors. And that's basically what we're watching here is basic survival from both of these gentlemen.
And when you think about the experience factor, too, when it comes to inside the ring, Spawn's got an edge, but the Shredder has more experience as a villain in general. He compared to the TMNT series versus Spawn. We've seen the Shredder around for quite some time, so he knows how to be calculating. He knows how to be in the ring, and he knows the psychology of taking an opponent down. And I think that's going to play into his favor tonight.
You know what? I'm going to have to disagree with you. I've seen Spawn hit it up. I've seen him do absolutely insane things like this choke slam.
Like a choke slam.
So if I'm going to actually go for someone, I know this is calling it a little late, but I'm going to go with the Spawn here. Speaking of
it
one.
Could be over right now. Only a 1 count.
No, but it was definitely close. What is... Uh-oh. Oh, God. He sent him straight to hell. Oh, God.
Lord. Shredder. Come on, man.
One.
You can't go down that quickly. No. Not enough.
He lost that quick, but this is definitely not looking good for Shredder. He got dropped right on his armored head.
Well, I think that's probably what saved him. Was that helmet having it. And see, that plays into the strategy. He's thought this match out. He's thought it through. And I think he's got a chance. I've seen him in the ring. He got a lot of good points. He's letting Spawn get his licks in. What a leg drop. Spawn is completely taking the fight to Shredder right now.
Oh, absolutely. But it looks like right as soon as, usually, as much as we like to talk, a lot of times as soon as we say something, this kind of stuff happens.
Bam. Down goes. And the Shredder, I would actually love for the Shredder to join the colonists with my militia. I'm trying to manage more people more in my neck of the woods as I'm starting to manage some people. And I've got some A-listers. I've got a guy named Aquaman. I don't know whether you know him, but he and I have actually resolved our differences.
Dang.
Because I hated him for forever.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then you saw him in other stuff where he actually didn't just suck. He was actually halfway decent. Sure. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Spike pile driver from the Shredder. And
that's
cover could be over here. Spawn reeling. No. 2 count only. And
the problem with the strategy that I think Shredder's using, which is the same strategy that the Toon Squad used to perfection, was that he doesn't have an extra body with which to throw at them or throw at Spawn. And speaking of, oh god,
boy, this could be a choke slam.
Oh, ow!
That might do it. Spawn, cover, 2, 3.
Hey, I guess what? I finally won one, guys! Woo!
Spawn picks up that was a dominant victory.
It really was.
That was easily a Kevin Owens squash right there.
Yeah, you saw Shredder got some good moves in, but the problem is that he just couldn't finish it.
Well, I think the problem with fight Spawn fight.
Yes.
That's what I agree.
We're gonna put that on a t-shirt now. Is that okay?
Yes. I think we definitely need to make a t-shirt of fight Spawn fight. I think people would watch that. People would buy that, definitely.
I would wear that shirt.
I would buy it.
Put a score and I'd be like, J4Ck-Nation. Because who wouldn't?
Yeah. Well, we'd have to have the J4Ck-Nation logo on the shirt too.
Oh well, it's merchandise. You have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna steal that shit.
Well,
you try that again?
We actually have a lot of foreign exports when it comes to our merchandising for J4Ck-Nation Red. We sell a lot in French Indochina, or what formerly was French Indochina, which is Indonesia and that whole section there.
Yeah, I think that's part of Oceania, I think is what it's called now.
Yeah, big fan of Red.
Yeah, huge fans of Red.
Big
you
fan
can't really blame them. Look at this.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Ooh.
Now, this is a match everyone wants to see.
This is going to be quite an interesting showcase here. Captain Britain versus M. Bison. And I'm sure that we're going to find out very shortly who they beat to get to this point. I am a huge M. Bison fan, also formerly part of La Pollution, as I am a partner of Pollution, but continue.
Well, the thing is that, I wasn't a big fan of Pollution. I'm still kind of not a big fan of Pollution. But in this case, I'm not going to go for Bison, mostly just because he might be doing well thus far, but he's been doing he used to do technically worse than the guy who's currently walking into the ring, who's making a bit more of a name for himself. A lot like a lot of other people within the J4Ck-Nation.
Not going to lie, I have been very impressed with Captain Britain.
I had never heard of Captain Britain before this, but now that he's here, I could not be happier to see him.
Yeah, I think, and he beat Servo to get to this point, and Bison beat Duke Nukem, who has not had the greatest of track records here in any of the, whether the terrible Mag-Nation or J4Ck-Nation, which is the greatest thing since ever.
Sliced bread. Everyone knows it.
Even including sliced bread. It's everything.
I know, right? I mean,
including not limited to.
Well, okay.
We'll even take whole. I don't care about the sliced bread.
No. Why would you want to? Especially when you see this kind of stuff. He's walking through the fire of the flames.
M. Bison. One of the most intimidating characters in J4Ck-Nation. However, his track record also does not speak too well for himself.
Well,
he's made a big push, but he's never really capitalized on any opportunities.
Well, I mean, that's something else, though. You take a look at M. Bison. They tried to really work him in. He really couldn't pull it off. But Captain Britain, he was never a big thing. He wasn't a big thing, but now he's showing that he's actually worth pushing. And I'm going to go with the man who's going to be hungrier in this case. And in my opinion, that's Captain Britain.
Well, there's a lot to prove in this match. I think M. Bison, to some extent, he came to Red looking for redemption. He really wants to prove that he really is the intimidating force that he was back in the Street Fighter, in his days in Street Fighter. And he really hasn't shown it up to this point. And I think that he's got a lot of revenge and sort of redemption to prove to the fans that he really can go the distance. I think that Britain has that same motivation as a proving ground for himself. He knows that this is really his time to prove that he's got just as much, if not more, than Captain America. Nice belly-to-belly slam. So I think it could go either way. I think this is a pick'em type of match.
I'm still going to go Captain Britain. I think he realizes this may be his only opportunity.
Punch.
Good Lord. He just basically socked a psycho in the face. I'm terrified.
Britton, strangely enough, not a southpaw, is a righty, which is quite interesting. But
well,
fun fact.
You could always say that he's ambidextrous.
That's very possible. Nice belly-to-belly of M. Bison's own. I'm going to have to go with my boy formerly from La Pollution, because I think he's got redemption on his mind, and what a belly-to-back suplex by M. Bison. And he's wearing red. He's wearing the colors of Ck-Nation.
Well, you can say the same thing about Cap Britton. Look at the stripes on the guy. He's clearly wearing some serious amounts of red here.
He is. That is true.
Yep.
Now, nice suplex, Bison. Suplex City, M. Bison style. And
but he looked at
apparently this is a no disqualification match that we didn't know.
I mean, I'm pretty certain this is a no disqualifications match, so I'm not too surprised that there is a weapon in the ring.
It was a sledgehammer, and Captain Britain was just like, no, we're going to do this normally.
Yeah,
but,
this is just how Ck-Nation works. There is no countouts. There are no disqualifications. Why in the world would there be? We want to see people get hit with stuff. That's
what we do. We're here, people beat the crap out of each other, Jack 6 rules over everybody. It's a great time. It's really a great time.
Well, I mean, take a look at the design of this building. Those are metal grates. See what I mean?
Yeah, that's not pads, folks. That's actual rails.
There's a reason why we don't want the fans getting hurt in this arena, because he just keeps getting. Well, you just don't want these people around normal people. Oh, sweet.
Now, what is going on here? Oh!
The I think we're going to call that the Dover Slam, because I'm not going to say it's the Oklahoma Slam.
The Manchester Slam.
Whatever, yeah, the Manchester Slam. I like that one better.
Yeah.
Right in the shin.
Thank you, lady. See, just got some more champagne. This is a beautiful jet.
Oh, Christ.
Got a steak coming right here.
We're seeing even more red. Jack Bison is busted open.
And M. Bison not looking to be in a great spot right now. I'm not sure if this is... I think this is false count somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. But there are no disqualifications, no countouts. One of these two men will advance to the third round of the championship tournament to face Blade at our first pay-per-view, Gears of War.
Yeah, I've just got confirmation. This is definitely a false count somewhere match.
We're going to look for a boom!
Iced. You just see all sorts of power bombs. There's a power bomb here, bomb there. Good Lord.
And M. Bison seeing red, and it appears to have motivated him a little bit in a very Tommy Dreamer or perhaps the Sandman-esque revitalization. But now Captain Britain just pounding the holy hell out of him.
Very much. Or if we're going to go with the Sandman and / Tommy Dreamer, that was pretty much Raven. You just pretty much just punched him in the face just to make sure, no, you're not getting that revival. Yeah. Big backdrop.
What about me, M. Bison? What about Captain Britain?
Yes. We now need a clock based entirely around.
I think that might be his complete mentality about this. What about Captain Britain? Because he's been in the shadow of Captain America and everyone for the longest time. Holy God.
You talked about the strength of Bison. There's the strength of Britain. And Lord only knows, you should be terrified when the strength of Britain comes out.
I'm pretty intimidated. They pretty much controlled the entire world at some point with their empire. So
now there's a sledgehammer, a trash can, and there was a table.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
Hottest match already.
I love disappearing tables and M. Bison getting pounded. And oh God.
He is taking out the trash, and Lord only knows this has got to be, I won't say it's the most painful thing Bison's ever felt in his life, but this is definitely a beatdown he wasn't expecting.
God!
He landed on the trash can!
Oh, man. I have to say, I've been very impressed with Captain Britain's determination, his focus. He's so determined to get this win. I could see him picking up the win tonight.
Oh, no, I already called that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I already called that stuff.
I know you did.
And here comes Bison trying to get back in the ring.
Trying to get back in. And
Oh! I don't even know what that was, but that was cool stuff.
Not even sure what to call that, but that was a very interesting move. Springboard off the mark, and M. Bison going to the top rope is not a good idea. Headbutt.
First time, headbutt straight to the back. Why? Because he's M. freaking Bison.
Yeah, he pretty much does what he wants. A nice belly-to-belly suplex again. This is like a Steiner versus Steiner match. All it is suplexes.
Suplex everywhere. Suplex all of the people.
Oh, God. Now looks like, another clothesline. Now going for a side slam. Nicely done. M. Bison building the momentum, getting himself back into this match. The cover could be over here. 3. That's the boy.
Ah, son of a bitch.
M. Bison.
Captain Britain, I had all the faith in you. You weren't even bleeding.
He had redemption on his mind. M. Bison ready to stand up for what he believes in. I am ready for this. M. Bison, I'm calling it now. We're going to see a new M. Bison here in J4Ck-Nation Red.
You know what? I did not have a whole lot of faith in him going into this match. I've seen him in a lot of matches. He never did well. But right now, he is absolutely showing why he's going to be at least in the semifinals of this entire tournament.
Yeah, and all the props to Captain Britain too. That was a well-fought match. And but
it looks like we're going to be seeing M. Bison versus Spawn in the next episode.
Yeah, so you're going to have to pay attention and watch the J4Ck-Nation. Oh, more champagne. Thank you. This is great. They just handed it to us. I wasn't even done with the first glass.
You know, whenever I'm at a restaurant, whenever someone just keeps my drink filled, I am a perfectly happy human being.
Yeah, I feel great.
I might tip these guys really freaking well. I don't know what they're paying them, but they need to pay them better.
Yeah. I don't even know what's in this champagne, but I'm feeling fantastic. I'm hoping it's just champagne, but knowing Jack 6, who knows? Oh, boy.
Yes!
Folks,
this is the match everyone wants to see.
This is going to be good.
Ladies and gentlemen.
From left to right, Broly, Brock, Gypsy Danger, and Jack 6.
The greatest ever, Jack 6.
The greatest ever. Our unwavering leader and intimidator, Jack 6. The winner of this faces Toon Squad in the semifinals.
And that will go in against Johnny Bravo and Scott freaking Steiner. Speaking of Scott Steiner, from the last match with all those dang suplexes, dang.
I mean, knowing Jack 6, we're probably going to see a whole ton more of them. But here we go. Here comes the first set. I'm coming out to the game, coming out to Triple H, it seems. But here comes Broly and Brock.
And those Dolphin titles. Just look at those titles. I don't know if they...
It's funny because you think Broly, he's all about Massachusetts, and he's actually, fun fact, Broly is a Dolphins fan, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because they owned the Patriots.
Oh,
the two of them, they did, but they did.
But the thing is that that's a really sore spot for me, seeing as I was a Colts fan, and here I'm like, I'm going to choose the Patriots, and the Patriots lost. So it's like, not only do I have the perceived or dishonor of choosing the Patriots, but they lost. So, yeah, I really don't want to talk about them very much.
Well, Broly has been on an absolute roll lately. Has been, I think so we're going to be seeing some crazy, crazy cool stuff from these two. Brock, just Brock. It's hard to say Brock's name cool.
Well, because... unless you put it with a growl, like, if either of us were Paul Heyman, we would definitely put it with more like a Brock.
But then you want to say Lesnar after it, but he's not. Speaking of,
sweet Lord, here we go.
See, it's funny how they said, "Oh, here we go." And you know what I love so much about this? It's the little things about the J4Ck-Nation that make me smile. Like, for example, the fact that Broly and Brock came out to the DX, and then the effing machines come out to Scott Hall and Kevin Nash of the NWO. It's the little stuff, the little intimidating things, the little psychology that makes me love and respect that TMN Blue Champion so much.
Well, here's my question that I still have to ask, though, mostly just because it's been kind of weirding me out since I started looking at it. The title. Why is it blue?
It's the TMN Blue title.
Yeah, but, he's put his own personal stamp on everything. I've been kind of wondering, why isn't it red?
I think it's almost a sign. I would say it's probably just a disrespect. It's just I have something that was yours, and I'm not willing to change it because I want to remind you every time that I walk around with it that I have something that you've wanted and you've needed and you don't have anymore. And I think it's sending a message.
Well, yeah, I can definitely see that, but he put his personal stamp on it anyway by calling it the greatest championship, which, you know, can you really blame him?
No, not at all. He is the greatest champion, hands down, of all time. And now the match has started, and now, who do you got in this one?
You know, I went against J4Ck and Gypsy Danger before, and I got totally owned. Gosh darn it, I'm not going to go with the Exotica Express. I'm going to go with the effing machine, and there's the reason why.
I'm obligated by J4Ck to root for J4Ck.
That's fair.
But I have a feeling that Broly is going to make a statement in this match, whether that means that he gets pinned and makes a sad statement, or he gets a win against maybe Gypsy Danger. It might not be even J4Ck in the equation. No. But I could see the Exotica Express stealing this one from Gypsy Danger.
Well, that's kind of the thing, though. The thing is that, you know, you take a look at all four of these gentlemen, who's been actually in either show the longest.
I think that's got to go to Brock, actually.
Yeah,
he took some time away, but he is the original. For those about to Brock, we salute you.
Salute.
That is so. Brock,
that's just it, though. You look at Brock; he's got years and years of experience. J4Ck has plenty of experience and has been on top. Broly
just as much, I would say.
Yeah, Broly has been quite incredible for like the last forever. The real weakness in this match, I'm going to have to say, oh, sweet Jesus.
What a spear.
In half.
And Brock just got right back up. This guy trains in Onyx. He's not going to be taken down by a spear.
Even from J4Ck?
Even from J4Ck.
I'm sorry, that's scary impressive.
Yeah.
Big
and
DDT.
DDT might not be the same scenario. Oh, but it was. Just got right back up. And I think Brock could definitely be a surprise contender. I think if Brock was given the opportunity as in a singles run, I could see him actually making some moves, just making some waves.
Making $1 million moves. I mean,
billions of dollars.
Billions.
You beat J4Ck, that means that you have what it takes.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Even if you don't directly beat J4Ck, having J4Ck in the same match automatically raises any match's prolificity by like 10,000%. No matter what.
Cover of one, kick out by Brock, kick out by J4Ck rather. Sorry, and now Brock. Ooh,
what even is that?
That's a move by Brock. I don't know, but it was a very innovative maneuver. The cover could be over here. Two. No.
Are you serious? From J4Ck, do you really think that one fish is going to fish him? No, you need at least two. At the very least. And that's saying a lot.
Well, it's to your point, Chris, it's J4Ck has really become the measuring stick for not only the J4Ck-Nation, but for the Mag-Nation too. Everyone was always chasing J4Ck. Since the original company was founded, the one person who everybody went after, it wasn't Ash Ketchum, it wasn't Bane, it wasn't even Boo. It was always J4Ck.
Well, like, you know, actually, that's
with arms wide open.
Oh, this is just disrespect to one of his biggest rivals back in the other show was, who's now actually doing really well for himself from what I understand, but that's mostly probably just because J4Ck isn't there.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to the mediocre shows, but yeah, current blue champion. Yeah, how much is that?
Wait, Christ, what was that?
What a throw. What a toss by J4Ck. Brock may have died. The cover. 1,
2, 3. Good Lord, J4Ck.
Good night.
Absolutely.
Goodbye.
God, I don't even know what that was, but that was coolish.
That's our leader, my friends. That's why he is the measuring stick of the J4Ck-Nation of any wrestling industry. I would bet you put J4Ck in with John Cena. I don't care how many 2 counts you kick out of. Cena falls.
Oh yeah, no, that's not even in question.
Not even a battle.
No, J4Ck's music hits. Cena just craps his pants and runs.
Let's
just be honest.
He's done. I'd be never back down. Well, he would back down.
Oh yeah, never quit. You're quitting now.
Yeah.
I would definitely quit.
You know, This actually, I want to go on a tangent, and I think I will when we're watching their entrances, because I have this whole thing about John Cena Rusev, which could have saved that rivalry and made it way better.
Yeah.
Like I could have, like, even though WrestleMania 31 was incredible, I had an idea that could have made it that much better, and I'll get into it. I'm gonna get into my tangent later, but Jack 6, your winner.
Not even Gypsy Danger. No.
Gypsy Danger wasn't even involved, really. It was just Jack 6. Here comes DK versus Bowser.
You want to talk about a Haas match for the ages, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Haas match for the ages. Just look at these two.
Is going to be great.
Hulking
Donkey Kong beat Solid Snake in his first match, and Bowser beat the Tick. All he needed was some tweezers.
Yeah, no,
it's a lot simpler than people think it is. You just get some tweezers, just pop it off. That's it.
Well, I mean, but that's something else, though. That's the Tick. That was the hardcore champion, one of the longest reigning hardcore champions. Bowser just beat him.
Well, Bowser, who's been really wanting to make a name for himself after a while, and I think this is really a long-standing rivalry here between DK and Bowser.
Well, I mean, you've seen him on Smash, you've seen him play golf together, you've seen him in a whole bunch of sports, but I don't know if this is the first time or the second time, but this is one of the first times I've seen this match with DK and Bowser going at it, punching each other, doing what giants should be doing.
I feel like it's always been a test of strength between them. I think DK and Bowser have always had one of those macho rivalries where it's kind of like that segment from like 2003 where Triple H and Scott Steiner had a flexing competition.
Yeah.
I don't know if they remember that. I think that's all it is between the two of them, is they're just flexing their muscles, trying to see which one's bigger. And now we get to find out.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely the moment.
This is a match that has been years, decades in the making, folks. A pay-per-view quality match, and you're seeing it on a regular show of Jack Nation. That's how much we're giving you. That's how much we prove that we are the best company on the face of this earth. Hands down. You can take that to the bank. I don't care if it's a blood bank. I don't care if it's the FDIC. I don't give a damn. We own the wrestling world. Here comes Bowser.
Destination America really needs to start looking at picking up Jack Nation Red. Forget ROH. Screw that. Forget that stuff. You want Jack Nation 6. That's what you want. That's what you always dreamed of having.
See,
seriously,
we're better than Destination America because we don't need Destination America, and we're already making waves, and we're already having a ripple effect through the entire universe.
Not just the wrestling universe, no. The entire damn universe.
The universe. Next show, I was just given word that next show, we are going... Chris, if you're with me, you and I are actually going to be on the Party Space Station, the Jack Nation Party Space Station.
Its original designation was, I think, DS9, but we had commandeered it. We commandeered that shit.
Yeah, and apparently it's got full catering. It's got a swimming pool up in space. I'm excited. I will be easily sipping. Oh, more champagne. Thank you. Match started now. And now Irish Whip into the corner, starting out this match. And is he going immediately for a backbreaker? Almost a backbreaker into a gutbuster.
Trying to break that shell early. He's trying to break that shell early. And you can't blame him for it.
And a scoop slam.
My word.
DK getting early advantage here. Okay, let me tell you about WrestleMania 31, because here's what I thought was going to end up happening. You know how they had the I Quit match in, Extreme Rules?
Yeah.
Okay, I would have recommended that they actually did that if they really wanted to finally make something out of Cena, which I would argue they have. So I'm not saying that what they did was bad, because they've actually been doing a decent job lately.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, I've actually been very impressed with what they've come up with as far as Cena goes. But what I was proposing is that they have that match, that I Quit match, but in WrestleMania 31, Cena actually quits.
Damn.
And everybody's like, holy crap, he just quit.
Cena bitched out.
Yeah. And then
really can say that shit.
So then Cena looks up and he sees everybody around, and he's just like, you could see in his eyes that something's different, like something's drastically changed inside him as he walks to the back. Then you fast forward to Lesnar Reigns. In the middle of that match, as Reigns is going for the win, Cena strides up, F5s the hell out of both of them, or FUs the hell out of both of them.
I was about to say F5?
And just leaves. Well, maybe he does to Lesnar just because he hates him so much. But anyway, he does that. He does it to both of them. He does it first to Reigns, and Lesnar just looks at him like, what was that? And then he leaves, and Cena just leaves with that same like cold stare. Like, not only did he turn heel, then Lesnar beats, or then Rollins can come in and actually do what they actually did. Cena heel turn, which I think would have been one of the coolest ways for that to happen, is if he actually...
Oh, sweet Christ. Sorry.
That would have made Rusev skyrocket.
Well, I suppose, but that would make make that whole rivalry kind of just stifle. But, speaking of rivalries that aren't stifling, though, freaking Bowser right now is being belly-to-belly suplexed.
Well, I think they made up for it, though, just because Owens got the win, the clean win over Cena at Elimination Chamber. If you guys haven't watched Elimination Chamber, I just spoiled it for you. But who cares? Because we're here at the J4Ck-Nation.
Yeah, seriously.
So, yeah. I just wanted to go on that tangent. People needed to know about that.
That's
but
cool.
anyway.
But here we are back in the action. DK is getting his toe stubbed everywhere, and let me tell you, I've had my toe stubbed. That is some painful shit.
Now Bowser's heard about fair play and a clothesline, almost an STO type of clothesline there. Nicely done.
Almost a different move. Here we go. What are we looking at? Another toe stubber.
And now kick to the gut. And Bowser now taking the fight to DK. These guys have got to get away from those stairs.
Well, I mean,
because they're not even going to be able to walk after this.
DK has 4 broken toes. I'm just about certain of it.
And he's still going to go in, and he's going to fight. That is not going to affect him at all, I would wager.
Seeing as he just jumped right back up? No, that didn't even phase him.
I never asked who you have in this match. And now a nice back body drop.
Honestly, I'm going to say Bowser, even though he's currently getting his tail end whooped right now.
Nice spinebuster cover. DK could get the win here. 2, 3.
As soon as I say something. Gosh darn it, Bowser.
Well, if it's any consolation, I think we're tied now. I think we're at No, we're at
because you chose M Bison and I chose Captain Britain. You're ahead by 1.
It's 3-2, but there's still another match left, so we could end up even here. But
it should be absolutely depressing. I want a definite winner, darn it.
I mean, I like ties. Ties are nice. I mean, I wear ties mostly, but I mean, I also like when commentators tie and all that stuff. So we got another match coming. Your winner, the Donkey Kong.
Good Lord.
That was a pretty impressive spine buster, I have to say, at the end of that. Showing his power game, which is really what got DK the victory.
Oh, yeah, no, not even a question. DK definitely showed that when it came to just sheer muscle, he definitely has one of the strongest arms ever seen, really.
And now, oh my God.
This is the kind of match everyone wants to see, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the main event. The J4Ck-Nation giving you the matches you didn't know you wanted, but now you realize you have them. So, in order for these two to get to this point, Piccolo beat Nappa in the first round, and Big Daddy, I don't know how he did it, but Big Daddy beat the one-man band, Sephiroth.
Which, is really impressive because Sephiroth has been on the main show. He was one of the longest reigning tag team champions in any history, really.
But that's just it, though. I always considered him almost like a Devon to Optimus Prime's Bubba Ray Dudley. He always was a solid tag competitor, but never really had anything pop for him as a singles career. And I guess the argument could be said Prime didn't either, but...
Yeah, I was about to say, the thing is that Prime really didn't go much places either, and Big Daddy beating Sephiroth basically means that Sephiroth should really start looking for those wins a lot harder, because, dang, Big Daddy, you lost to Big Daddy.
But this is the thing, though. This is J4Ck-Nation. This is the land of opportunity. So we do give the opportunity to do this. So anything can happen. I mean, we saw Leonidas win, which was big. We've seen Toon Squad. Toon Squad beat 2 teams that they should not have beaten. And yet here they are in the semifinals. Here's Big Daddy.
Being the happiest man on the planet. Can you blame him? He beat Sephiroth. I'd be happy.
Oh, yeah. I would totally be excited to... If I were Big Daddy right now, I'd be on cloud 9. But he's got a big opponent coming up. I mean, Piccolo has had a fair amount of success. The very first or second, I believe, TMNXT champion.
Which is what he's going for again. He's trying to get his old championship back. So he's got the ability to go back and do what he did before. Big Daddy, this is his opportunity to show that he can do it.
Big Daddy is former hardcore champion. Piccolo, former TMNXT champion. Both of these guys looking to make it and win and move on to face Blade. And now a huge STO.
Good Lord. This is just not... This is already starting out really bad for Piccolo. If Piccolo's going to get back in this match, he's going to have to do something a little better than being suplexed around.
Well, Big Daddy, coming right out of the box, knows that he can't give Piccolo a whole lot of time to really collect his thoughts. Smart move on Big Daddy's part, going straight for the attack, being quick, being fast about it, setting the pace for his own. But a nice backdrop there. Counter the moves is Piccolo.
Piccolo needs to get his pace back on. He needs to control this match, and he's just not doing it right now.
Well, I mean, it is very, very early in this match, which means it gives me hope that there actually will be time to turn around. I mean, we saw, especially even earlier tonight, nice elbow by Big Daddy. But even earlier tonight, when we saw it against the Toon Squad, where Jordan took so much punishment in the early going, and yet they still came out the victor. So,
well, we mentioned that
you just never know.
We mentioned that beforehand with Shredder versus Spawn. Spawn had the power early on, but the thing is that if Piccolo doesn't have an extra body to throw at Big Daddy, he's just not going to get it. Oh, but he's going outside of the ring.
Depends on how it's going. And now Piccolo, the frustration definitely setting in. You could see it when he got back up, not allowing Big Daddy to dominate the entire match like that. Nice corkscrew suplex. Or something of that variety.
I thought it was a corkscrew.
Piccolo now on the outside.
Well, that's the thing, though. Most of the matches that ended with the power guy winning tended to not go outside of the ring. I think this is actually going to help Piccolo. Piccolo tends to...
I could see it.
It'll go better for Piccolo if he keeps this outside of the ring and takes the damage out here rather than in the middle of that giant white circle.
And what a powerful STO. Big Daddy once again taking control of the matchup. And now looking for, it looks like a power slam. Nicely executed. Could be all here for Piccolo. This is false count somewhere, however. So Piccolo is going to eventually need to get Big Daddy back in the ring if he's going to make that comeback. And a nice belly-to-belly suplex. And Ben, the theme of the evening. Belly-to-belly suplexes.
Clotheslines.
Sponsored by Belly Jelly, the knockoff jelly bean, because they don't give us real jelly beans. They just give us like the big Easter ones that are kind of gross, but whatever. Yeah. We have champagne though.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I got ravioli and Pepsi. What can I complain about?
Yeah. There you go. I've been enjoying the champagne probably a little more than I should, but this besides the point. Anyway. Yeah. It is great champagne though. You really should give it a shot.
I'll stick with my Pepsi, thanks.
But anyway, and
I don't know what Big Daddy's trying to do. He's trying to get somewhere, but Piccolo just will not stay down long enough for him to actually do what he wants to do.
And it's interesting because now that Big Daddy has really slowed the pace down of this matchup, contrary to what he did at the start of the match, but I like how he's definitely kept it at his pace. He's really carried this match the way he's wanted the match to be carried. CM Punk in the corner is endorsing the Pepsi of your Pepsi, Chris. So I don't know whether you really feel like that's something to be proud of or not.
But. Oh, I know it's something to be very proud of. I'm always proud of Pepsi. I'm proud of CM Punk. I'm proud to be in this giant jet flying around watching this match that's happening in Baltimore between a green alien and a guy and Nicolas Cage.
And Nicolas Cage in somewhat of a Batman costume. And oh my God.
Well, apparently Piccolo just gave up on this whole I'm going to out-wrestle him bull snot and is now about to do what I think is probably one of the more painful things to do.
Piccolo,
maybe not.
Screwing around, as we like to say. Looked like he was going to go for something in there. Maybe might try for it again. As he does, bam!
Oh! That's a chair. That might as well be your own. That's all your own body weight being thrown into a chair.
Let me tell you something, folks. When steel meets skull, steel wins. 100% of the time, the cover could be over here.
No,
only
out.
Nicolas Cage. We all forget that he was Ghost Rider. He used to be a flaming skull.
He used to be, but it might not matter.
The
special
jackhammer.
Cannon.
1, 2, 3.
The special beam cannon won Piccolo that match. Congratulations to Piccolo. I shouldn't have doubted you.
That was a very impressive match. That was a very impressive match. And Piccolo, once again, as I say, he was slowing the pace down, letting Big Daddy get what he wanted, and took advantage at the opening he needed. Very impressive showing by Piccolo. And he is a man who is looking forward to get back into glory. He moves on to the 3rd round. And I believe he's going to be facing Donkey Kong in the next episode, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're not mistaken. But I think the big thing that must be remembered in this match that was not shown in the replay was that chair shot, I think, did almost 90% of the damage to Big Daddy that Piccolo needed.
Well, he reeled it. That one chair shot and then lining him up for the next one took him completely down. Next episode, you're going to see the beginnings of the Atomweight tournament that we've got going on. We've got a whole lot of new stuff going on. This is what we're here for. My name is The Colonist, here with my friend and great commentate partner,
Chris Cones. Sorry, I had to say it.
There he goes. There we go. And thank you very much for watching J4Ck-Nation Red. This is where it's at, and we will see you next time.